Shalom. All praises and glory be unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Basham Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone and Ruwell, and who have taught us knowledge. Honors and salutations to your fellow laborers, doing work week in and week out. Shalom to you. Shalom to the few Akwaf that believe as well. Excuse me. I entitled this video, The Daughter of Babylon. And the reason why I entitled it that is because when we go into the scriptures speak about two different Babylons, all right, which, the Babylon that's within the books of the prophets, and I'm going to focus on the book of Jeremiah, Jeremiah 50, 51. Also, I'm going to hit, Daniel 5, Daniel 2. There's a few precepts I wrote down to show that ancient Babylon and the daughter of Babylon, also known as Babylon the Great, it's two different Babylons. Okay, and ancient Babylon was not destroyed like Sodom and Gomorrah, because it's mentioned in the book of Jeremiah about the daughter of Babylon being destroyed as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah. So this is especially my main focus, my main point of this lesson. So right here is a statue, and this is found in Daniel the 2nd chapter. The statue is of gold, silver, brass, iron, and then clay. Part iron, part clay. Which, this is written within the book of Daniel the 2nd chapter. And within Daniel the 2nd chapter, which it goes into it. All right, the different empires, right? You see the Babylonian Empire right here at the top. All right, these are the major empires that stood, right? You see Babylonian Empire, 605 to 539 BC. You see the Medo-Persian Empire, 539 BC to 331 BC. This is the empire that succeeded the Babylonian Empire, which the Medo-Persian, which is also known as the Persians and Medes. Okay, so the way they took down the Babylonians, all right, is mentioned in the Bible, and also I got an article from history.com I want to read, and it's right here. And this proves that secular history is in the Bible too, by the way. So this is, I'm going to get right to the point. It's history.com. If you want to see, well, let me go up. See, it's at history.com, how Cyrus the Great turned ancient Persia into a superpower. So I'm just going to go down to the point which I was just at. All right, here we go. It says, let me start up. I'm going to read this 3 paragraphs, 3 quick ones, because the point is in the third one. It says, as the Persian Empire grew, its military strengthened, Cyrus developed an elite corps of mounted warriors who were skilled at shooting arrows on horseback and deployed war chariots with blades attached to the wheels. His troops seem to have been highly motivated and well trained, and Cyrus himself appears to have been an inspirational leader, Lee says. Lee is the narrator of this history. That's on. He worked for the history website. It says he seems to have been able to move his armies more rapidly than enemies anticipated, even during winter. Excuse me. After his army vanquished territories east of Persia, Cyrus set his sights on conquering the last remaining major power in the west of Asia, the Neo-Babylonian Empire. In 539 BC, Persian forces invaded the wealthy, fertile empire and routed the Babylonian army to seize the strategic city of Opis on the Tigris River. A week later, the Persian army reached the walls of Babylon, the ancient world's largest city, and seized it without a fight. So that account, all right, is found in the book of Daniel, the 5th chapter. All right, because Belshazzar, which, let me start at the top and I'm going to jump down. Belshazzar was the king, all right, and Darius took him down. All right. Now this is Daniel 5:1. Belshazzar the king made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords and drank wine before the 1,000. And basically, when you read into it, they was basically having a merry time, or having a great feast. And well, it's going to say it, right? I don't want to just give it away. I'm going to read it, all right, because it's right here in the scriptures. It says, jumping down to verse 29, it says, then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with, well, you know what, Slakia, let me start up. Come on. Let me start up a bit. Verse 18, O thou king, the most high power gave Nebuchadnezzar thy father a kingdom and majesty and glory and honor. And for the majesty that he gave him, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him. Whom he slew, and whom he would he kept alive, and whom he would he set up, and whom he would he put down. But when his heart was lifted up, and his mind hardened in pride, he was deposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. And he was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like the beast, and his dwelling was with the wild asses. Because that's what happened. The Lord turned. He made Nebuchadnezzar think that he was a wild beast, and he started to eat, and act as a wild beast, and started to look like it, in some features. I believe he, if I am mistaken, I believe he started growing like hair or fur, like a wild beast. While they're eating grass and stuff, it's like it's just a little funny. But you can read the account about the Most High doing it to Nebuchadnezzar. I believe that's the 3rd or 4th chapter of Daniel. So let's continue on reading. It says, they fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till he knew that the Most High power ruled in the kingdom of men, and that he appointed over it whomsoever he will. And thou, his son, O Belshazzar, has not humbled thine heart, though thou knowest all this. So Belshazzar had lifted up his heart in pride, just like his father, because he didn't acknowledge the fact that the Most High Heavenly Father, Yahweh, had done that unto his father Nebuchadnezzar. All right. Which I believe that'd be Nebuchadnezzar the second. All right. So continuing on, it says, but has lifted up thyself against the Lord of heaven, And they brought the vessels of his house before thee, and thou and thy lords, thy wives, and thy concubines have drunken wine in them. And thou hast praised the gods of silver and gold, of brass and iron, wood and stone, which see not, nor hear, nor know. And the Most High, in whose hand thy breath is, meaning his life, whose are all thy ways, hast thou not glorified. Right, because after his father Nebuchadnezzar had came out of that state, he knew that the Most High was real. Right, he acknowledged that. Right. So when you read the account, you can see all that, or get all that out of that account. All right. So so let's go down here to verse I'll continue reading. It's a bit long, Slakia. Let's continue reading. Verse 24. Then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written. And this is the writing that was written, Mene Tekel of Harson. It says, this is the interpretation of the thing. Many, the Most High had numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. Perez, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet and put a chain of gold about his neck, and made a proclamation concerning him that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. And that night was Belshazzar the king of the Chaldeans slain, and Darius the Median took the kingdom, being about 62 years old. So 62 years old. So that's the account, okay, where it says that they took the kingdom without a fight on the history.com article I read. They was having a merry time. They was, feasting, and got caught slipping, all right? And they took the kingdom from them, all right? Killed them all and assumed power, all right? And he was taken down by Darius, the Median, all right? Now, it's also mentioned, I believe that's, hold on, let me, if I can just stroll over. Let me see here. I believe that's, kind of. Daniel 9, it says, in the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, of the seed of the Medes, which was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans. So when you go into Darius, he's also his dad Ahasuerus is also mentioned in Ezra as well. Okay, so Darius the Mede. Now, when you look up Darius the Mede, they'll tell you as little known of him. All right, when you look it up, all right, and when you go into scriptures, it gives you references of who he was, who was his father, and it give you a backdrop of his history. Now, you Google it, it won't lead you to many sources. All right, if you Google it, who is Darius the Mede or Darius the son of Ahasuerus, it'll give you a couple. Well, it actually give you Ezra. All right, it mentions Ezra. Okay, so just a heads up, to any brother that's just waking up to this knowledge, that go and do their research, it will do that. But you can look it up. You can look up, Darius the son of Ahasuerus, and you can get a backdrop of the story. I think it's Ezra 4, if I'm not mistaken. Let me hit it real quick. It's Ezra 4. Ezra 4 and Ezra 4 and 4. The people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building and hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, even until the reign of Darius, king of Persia. And in the reign of Ahasuerus, in the beginning of his reign, wrote they unto him an accusation against the inhabitants of Judah and Jerusalem, which, that goes into, damn heathen speak against Jake, all right, speak against Israel. And pretty much, I believe that's going into the accounts where they was trying to rebuild the temple, and you had heathen trying to come against Israel from rebuilding the temple. Okay, and I believe that's mentioned in First Ezra as well. All right, so let's go back to the book of Daniel. Matter of fact, let's go from Daniel to Jeremiah now, because I hit that point, showing you that Babylon of old was not taken down by fire. It was just basically it was you had the battle armies, or the battle of the armies, and then when they actually penetrated the Babylonian Empire, and it was able to successfully take it down, it was due to the account I read in Daniel the 5th chapter of them partying and having a merry time, feasting. So again, they wasn't overthrown by fire. Okay. Now you go to Jeremiah 50. All right. It says Jeremiah 50 and 1. The word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. So it's talking about Babylon, right? Now when you scroll down, all right, I want to go down here to verse matter of fact, because this is going into it, but I'm gonna go right to the point though. Let's go to verse 13. Jeremiah 50 and 13, it says, because of the wrath of the Most High, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Right? So the word desolate, right? When you go to the word desolate, let's see here. Matter of fact, we go to Blue Letter, get it. The word desolate. Verse 13. The word desolate. All right. It says devastation, waste, desolation. All right. You get the Hebrew word there, Shema. All right, Shema is the Hebrew word, Shema. It says root word shaman. All right, root word shaman. Let's hit that real quick. It says devastated, deserted, desolate. All right, so the root word would be shaman, which means, again, devastated, deserted, desolate. And when you go to Google, We'll find on Google as well. Bear me 1 second. Excuse me. It says deserted of a place empty of people. See? Empty of people. Now, when you look at Babylon today, which today, Babylon, or it's like Babylon today would be the geographical location would be modern day Iraq, right? So let me go here. Middle East map. So we get the Middle East map, right? We're gonna look at modern day Iraq. See? Now, this is Iraq today. Iraq is currently inhabited today, right? So when you go to let's type this in right here. Bear me 1 second. People living in Iraq, because like I said, Iraq is the geographical location of the old Babylonian Empire. So here we go. It says Iraq population 43.53 million as of 2021. So there are people living there. All right. Now, when you go back to the scriptures, let's go back to Jeremiah 50. So it's people living there. It's not, that land is not deserted or empty of people. Jeremiah 50:13, because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she has sinned against the Lord. Now, we know that's not talking about an actual bow and arrow. That's talking about the missiles, okay? Those are metaphors for the missiles, all right, which come out of the silos. And the silos would be the bow and the arrow. I mean, the silos will be the bow, and the missile will be the arrows. Okay. The arrows shoot out the bow, the missile shoot out the silo. All right. It says, verse 15. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna jump down a bit and get right to the point. Go down. All right. Verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? See, the old Babylonian Empire didn't conquer the whole earth. See, it was a major empire that stood, but it didn't conquer the whole earth. It didn't conquer this Western Hemisphere, what you call the Americas today, North, Central, South America. All right, the old Babylonian Empire never conquered the whole earth. Okay, it was a vast kingdom that, when it reigned, right, when it was on top, but it never conquered the whole earth. Okay. Let me see. Verse 25, the Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. What are the weapons of the Lord's indignation? The missiles. All right. Isaiah 50:16. The Lord hath created a smith to blow the coals in the fire. All right, that bring forth an instrument. He bring Salaki. The Lord said He created the waster to destroy. Talking about what? The missiles. Also is mentioned in Revelation 2. All right, when it breaks down how the missile works, or how powerful it is, where it speaks about they had the heads of lions. All right. So let's continue on. I want to go to in verse 25 it says, the Lord had opened his armory and had brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. See? Let nothing of her be left, right? Now, let me see here. I'm going to stay right here in the same chapter. And I'm going to go over the 51st chapter, the next chapter over. Come. Verse 31. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord, power of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in the cities, and it shall devour all round about him. See? Did Darius burn? Did he burn? Did Cyrus and Darius them burn up the Babylonian Empire? No. When Darius went into when they went into the strong city, all right, when they penetrated Babylon, they just simply killed them because they was getting drunk, having a merry time, drinking out of the holy things that come out of the temple of the Lord, all right, which was at Jerusalem. So it says, verse 33, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast, they refused to let them go. First and foremost, Judah went to the Babylonian Empire, and at the same time, you had the Assyrian Empire going on as well. That's why you always hear us say Babylonian/Assyrian Empire. And the northern tribes, we went into the Assyrian captivity. Okay, may have had sprinkles of here and there, but as a whole, we went into the Assyrian captivity, and from the Assyrian captivity, we came over here to the Americas as you know them today. See, so we was never, as a whole nation, in the old Babylonian Empire. When they took down, Israel, it was just they had mainly Judah, Benjamin, Levi, all right, and they the ones were going up into the Babylonian exile. Okay, now you fast forward today, where the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed at, because when it says Israel, is referring to the northern tribes. Okay, and it says Judah, talking about the southern kingdom, which was collectively known as the Jews, the kingdom of Judah, right? We weren't oppressed together in the Babylonian Empire of old. We was oppressed together in today's Babylonian Empire, which is so-called America. Let's go down to verse Verse 37, the swords upon their horses and upon their chariots and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her. Yeah, because America is known as the melting pot. All right. Matter of fact, it even mentions that in what's that, Habakkuk? Excuse me, where it says that heaping unto himself all people. Let's get that. Habakkuk 2:5, I believe that is. Come. Habakkuk 2:5. It says, yea, also because he transgressed by wine. Yeah, his vain philosophies and vain words he used to persuade the people, which is Esau, Edom, right? Democracy, all that old nonsense, right? So yea, also because he transgressed by wine. He is a proud man, need to keep it at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Yeah, that's Esau, man. That's why in America, the mainland of America, you have a representation of all the nations. Right, all the 18 nations. Okay. Back in Jeremiah 50, and verse 37, it says, the swords upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of great graven images, and they are mad upon their idols, which the Babylonians of old, they were known for their idol worshiping and getting into the witchcraft and things like that. But you look at America, America has a whole total influence over the whole earth. Okay. That's why it says that they wanted after the beast. Okay, because why? Esau, all right, Esau has pushed his what we call Babylonian juice on the whole earth, man. All right, you look at today, they're trying to push their way of living on all the people. This is the reason why you have right now what's going on is they're saber rattling with many countries right now, like Iran, with the lady in the hijab or whatever, and that then they cover her head, which is encouraging women to be as they say more liberated and free and have rights and all that stuff, which I'm not gonna get into all that, but that's just some of the things they say. All right, they say women don't have rights over in Iran and different places, Afghanistan, what have you. Basically they're trying to get every woman to be like the women over here in this Western world. Okay, and even the men, to be effeminate and to be lying with each other instead of getting with the opposite sex. That's what's pushed here in America. All right, they push everything that's abominable and wicked. All right, this is that simple kingdom that the Lord has his eyes upon. All right, just like when the nation of Israel, when we became a simple nation, how much more the wicked. All right, Esau, Edom, that's ruling right now. You see, so continuing on. Again, this is a place of graven images and idol worship, man, heavy. All right, this is a whole system and society that's built upon witchcraft. All right, that's been exposed on so many levels, man. It's not even funny. Okay, masonry is a big thing in today's society, which is ruled by Esau. All right, so verse 39, it says, therefore the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the islands shall dwell there, and the owls shall dwell there and it shall be no more inhabited forever. See? neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. When I went to Google, you have people still living in Iraq. Again, Iraq is the land mass or the geographical location of the old Babylonian Empire. So people still live in Iraq today. Okay. It says, verse 40, as the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof. Well, when you look at Sodom and Gomorrah, how was it overthrown? Let's get that. How was Sodom and Gomorrah overthrown? Was it not overthrown by fire? Right? It was overthrown by fire. All right, let's go to Genesis 13. Con. Let me see here. So this is hold on. I need to go over some more Shalakia. So I'm gonna go to the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. I went too far, Shalakia. So yeah, come. Go right to the point, Shalakia. I didn't write this precept down, Shalakia. So I want to get it though. I want to get it, show you that Sodom and Gomorrah was overthrown by fire. Okay. Here we go. I know I was wrong. I know I was in the wrong area, Shalakia. That's what took me a little minute. This is Genesis chapter 19. And 24. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. So the Most High Yahweh himself rained fire and brimstone upon Sodom and Gomorrah from heaven. It says, and he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. See? So the Lord overthrew it by fire. All right. Did the old Babylonian Empire did it come down by fire? Or was it destroyed by fire? That the answer is no. Okay. The answer is no. Okay, the daughter of Babylon, again, is America, which is ruled by who? The Edomites. This is the reason why you go to Psalms, the 137th chapter, it mentions Edom, because the Edomites would be ruling in Babylon. Okay. Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. See? So it calls Edom the daughter of Babylon, all right, who ought to be destroyed. See? Because who rules Babylon the Great, or the daughter of Babylon? The Edomites, okay? The Edomites didn't rule in the ancient Babylonian Empire. And they were catching Israelites, capture them and give them unto the Babylonians of old, but they did not rule in the old Babylonian kingdom. See, it says, well, that's it on that. So let's go back to Jeremiah 50. Okay, let's go back down. I'm at verse 40. So Jeremiah 50 and 40, as the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, which is by fire again, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. See? It says, behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. Did that happen to the old Babylonian Empire? No. You had the Medes and the Persians that came against them. It says, in many kings. You didn't have many kings like all the other nations gathered together to take down the old Babylonian Empire. All right. It says, verse 42, they shall hold the bow and the lance. See, some of the missiles. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses. Everyone put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. O daughter of Babylon. See? So, that's obviously talking about America. You go to Jeremiah 51, it says, Jeremiah 51, I'm going to go right to the point. Well, there's a couple points I want to hit out here. Jeremiah 51, starting at verse 1, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind, and will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land. The old Babylonian Empire land was not empty. Again, you still have, and remember in Jeremiah 50 it said forever. All right, nobody should dwell in there forever. Which by default, that would make the Babylonian landmass again, of which is Iraq today. All right, it don't fit this prophecy. That's talking about another Babylon. Okay, now see here, it says, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about, which is what the nations prepared to rain missiles upon the daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great, which is what so-called America. It says, against him that let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts, which is army. See? So I want to bypass that, right? It says, verse 11, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord had raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device against Babylon. For his device is against Babylon, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. It's like that's not the one I want to. The first one to get to. Right here, verse 13. This is something I wanted to focus on as well. All right. Now that was good. I mean, I could have hit that, verse 2, but the verse above it. But I want to get to this point right here, which some I noticed too. When I was putting this lesson together. Verse 13. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. So when you look at, it says, thou that dwellest upon many waters, right? When you go, let's go back to where back. Here we go. So, Middle East map, right? We're gonna go back to Iraq, which is the old Babylonian landmass, right? Now you look at Iraq. You have the rivers, the great rivers that flow through it, right? Which you can see right here on my screen. Of course, you have the Euphrates, the Tigris, all right? You have rivers flowing through it, right? But when you look at America, all right, let's get this world map. Western Hemisphere map. All right, here we go. Good. Now you look at this map right here. Now I just showed you Iraq. Now this is the Western Hemisphere. So you can get a good one. You can, you brothers and sisters can see. Oh, this is something different. I want to get a good map. Bear me 1 second. That's not clear enough. I want to get one that's real clear. Okay, so this is a good one. This is good enough. Now you look at America today. All right, which America, again, is the daughter of Babylon, which this is the Babylon that's ruled by Edom, the Edomites. Okay. When you look at so-called America, does it not sit upon many waters? Look at, you got the North Atlantic Ocean to the east of it, and you got the North Pacific Ocean to the west of it. You have the Arctic Ocean, which you go right above Canada. But right below America, you have the Gulf of Mexico. So you have this land that sits upon many waters. That's ruled by Edom. All right, it's ruled by Edom, and it's not America a place of confusion, because the word Babylon, which go back to the word Babal, means confusion. Is this not a place of confusion? Absolutely, it is. Okay. Let's go back to Jeremiah 51. All right, I'm at verse 13. It says, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. I'm sorry. All right. It says, let me see. Only here we go. Verse verse 25 says, "Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyest all the earth, and I will stretch out mine hand upon thee." See? Let me read it again. "Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyest all the earth." What place on earth is known to destroy all the the different lands across the earth? Is that not America? What was the whole war campaign in the Middle East? This whole made up so-called war on terror. What's that all about, man? They tore up the Middle East, man. All right, their whole war on terror, they tore up the Middle East, man. They're still bombing over in the Middle East right now. You look at those Middle Eastern countries, it look fucking crazy over there, man. Okay, this man Esau has made the world look desolate in many places. He's destroying the rainforest, the Amazon rainforest, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, rainforest on earth. Right? Everywhere he goes, he's starting wars. So from a process of elimination, all right, you can narrow that down real easily. What place on earth has the strongest influence? What place is the model place to live after on this earth? That's America. And at the top of this chapter, it mentions Babylon being the golden city. Right? Now we know that the old Babylonian was known for its gold, but hey, look at America. America is, because gold translating to riches, right? Because gold and silver is real riches, right? Who have conquered the whole earth? America or modern day Iraq, which would be the old Babylonian geographical location again? The answer would be America. America has militaries all over the earth, right? It has military bases all over the earth. That lets you know who's in power, man. All right. How many? All right. How many? Watch this. How many military? How many U.S. military bases? Says there are roughly 750 U.S. foreign military bases. They are spread across 80 nations. Come on, man. 80 nations, man. Watch this. How many countries has U.S. military bases? It says 80 nations. Well, same. It gave me the same thing. So 750 military bases spread across 80 nations. That's a lot of, man. Look, matter of fact, 80 nations. Let me see. 80 nations. How many nations are there? So it gave me countries. 195 countries all right, worldwide, right? But you have a lot of small countries, right? And they're not really of any significance, right? But 80 nations, man, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. It says which country is number one in the world? Oh, let's see that. That's, that's for something different. It says where does America rank in the world? It's talking about some stuff. Uh, anyways, let me continue on because it's not either here or there. I was just trying to see what it was saying. So you see that America has 750 bases, man. It doesn't even like no other country has military bases in the world like America. Not even Russia. Matter of fact, let me see. I'm gonna do Russia because Russia is a major superpower. So Russia, which is the U.S. and Russia is the two major nuclear powers. They the biggest, right? But we know which is superior, which is Russia, which they don't seem to report in the news over here in America. But we know Russia is more important, or more superior, I should say. I'm sorry, as far as the nuclear arsenal. Now it says Russia has. Let me see. So Russia has, well, from what I'm gathering from this, Russia has 20 military bases. Well, how many? How many Russian military bases? So, okay, same answer. Okay, so Russia has 20 military bases in the world. Okay, so by far, America, has the most military bases. See, um, Jeremiah 51:25 says, "Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroys all the earth, and I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain." How you burn something? With fire. "And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord. All right. See? So, I mean, again, man, the Most High is talking about making the Daughter of Babylon desolation, right? And burn it, right? Let's jump down. It says, and it mentions no stone. All right. It says that nobody's gonna take a stone or make up a stone to build a foundation. All right, or start to build a foundation within the door of Babylon after the Most High burned it, man. Pretty much. So let's go down to verse. I want to get ahead of myself, Shalakia. Yeah, verse 29. It says, "And the land shall tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant." All right. So we know that again the landmass, the landmass of the ancient Babylonian Empire, which is modern day Iraq again. We know that it's still being inhabited. Inhabitant, it says a person or animal that lives in or occupies a place. Right? So we know that there are people still living in the ancient Babylonian landmass. All right. So we know that this is obviously not talking about the old Babylonian Empire. Okay. Let's see. Verse 37 says, "And Babylon shall become," back in Jeremiah 51, verse 37. "And Babylon shall become heaps, a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment and a hissing without an inhabitant." See? Tell you, man. Verse 43, "Her cities are a desolation, a dry land, and a wilderness, a land wherein no man dwelleth, neither doth any son of man pass thereby." People still go to Iraq, visit Iraq, or travel through Iraq, man. Come on, man. Let you know right there that it's not time. That's a different Babylon, man. The daughter of Babylon is obviously so-called America. Let's see here. Let's see. It's another point I want to make. Verse 58, it says, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken, and her high gates shall be burned with fire, and the people shall labor in vain, and the folk in the fire, and they shall be weary." And the folk in the fire. Come on, man. You know? Verse 62, I'm going to jump down, right? "Then shalt thou say, O Lord, thou hast spoken against this place, to cut it off, that none shall remain in it, neither man nor beast, but that it shall be desolate forever." See? And I'm telling you, man, it's obvious that this place is talking about so-called America. America is the great city, Babylon. The city is going to be burnt with fire. Now, I want to mention something, too. Revelation 18 and 1, it says, "And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird." You know, basically those birds are scavengers, and the crows, the vultures, and the eagles, the owls, all of those birds that all those birds that are predators of the sky, if you will. All right, the ravens, all the desert beasts. Excuse me. Let me see. Revelation. And he knows it says, "Do unto her as thou hast done unto you." It mentions that in Jeremiah 52, right? Because of what Babylon have done unto the children of Israel. Now it says, Revelation 18 in verse 7, "How much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously So much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be now. There's no historical event of when you go in the scriptures, it doesn't mention Babylon suffering from the old Babylonian Empire suffering from famine. Okay, it says therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judged her, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and live deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Okay, so again, the version the daughter of Babylon. All right, because you go to Isaiah 47, it mentions the virgin daughter of Babylon, right? Which we know that's talking about America as well. Now, I didn't want to. I'll be here all day, all night, getting all the precepts upon the daughter of Babylon. All right, but I think I hit the hour mark already, and the Lord willing, this has been edifying thus far. I'm gonna get ready to close. All right, it says verse 9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Right. Because, see, the daughter of Babylon, also known as Babylon the Great, which I'm reading about a little bit of it in the 18th chapter of Revelation, is mentioned of Babylon being burnt with fire. See? Excuse me. All right, and we know that when the Medes or the Persian Medes, right, took down Babylonians, all right, there was a process of time, right, to them to penetrate into the heart of the old Babylonian Empire, right, before they could successfully take it over. When they went in there, they found them, again, uh, having the feast. Babylon the Great will be destroyed in 1 hour. Okay. See, for 1 hour, all right, is thy judgment come. Because it's going to take the Heavenly Father 1 hour to burn this place with fire. Okay, let's go down and we'll close. Excuse me. Verse 19, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in by the sea. All that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour she is made desolate. There's no account of ancient Babylon, the ancient Babylonian kingdom being made desolate in 1 hour. All right, there's no account of that because it's talking about America. All right. So it says, verse 20, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. And the mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all. How come we can see Iraq? Right? Why can't we see Iraq today? is because all right, let me get the map again, Shalakia. The reason we can see Iraq today is because the daughter of Babylon, or Babylon the Great, is not referring to the old Babylonian landmass. All right, it's talking about so-called America. All right, so with that, I know it's been long, but Lord willing, it was edifying. And I'm gonna say until next time, shalom to you brothers and sisters that believe in Yahweh Shem Shai. Until next time, shalom.